always are. Please listen, behave appropriately, and if we have time at the end, we'll do some questions and answers if that's appropriate. I'm proud to present this morning. Our main speaker will be Pam Laffin, who's seated behind me here. And I'd like to thank her helper, Joe Genova, who is assisting her. He's connected with the Board of Health, and he's connected with the underage smoking, anti-smoking campaign here in Arlington. Ms. Laffin is here to share her story and how she developed a smoking-related disease. She hopes that by sharing this with you, you will learn from her mistakes. You will never start smoking or using any other types of tobacco products. So without further ado, I'll introduce Pam to you. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Everybody have a good vacation? Yeah. Anyway, okay, hi, my name is Pam. I'm here today to talk to you about my experiences with smoking. Most of you have seen the I Can't Breathe video? Yeah, okay. I just want you to know that I have not seen that video, so I don't know exactly what I talked about on that video. So if I repeat myself, if I repeat something you've already heard, I'm sorry, but I know that there's more information that you didn't hear on the video. So just bear with me. Anyway, I started smoking when I was 10. And I started smoking for a lot of different reasons, but one reason that stands out the most to my mind is, well, when I was 9, I went and I saw the movie Grease. Did you all see that? Yeah. Good, so then I can reference it. Well, I could identify with the character of Sandy in the movie because she moved to a new town from a different country. And she had friends, but, you know, people made fun of her. And the impression that I got from that movie was that her boyfriend was ashamed to be seen with her. The reason I could identify with that is because while I was growing up, my family moved around a lot. And so from pre-kindergarten to 6th grade, I went to a new school every year. So I was always the new kid. And at first I would have friends. And then at the end of the school year, we would move. And I would be really sad because I would be leaving my friends. So instead of that, what I decided to do was I decided to have acquaintances instead of friends. So, you know, there were kids at school that I ate lunch with or talked to in school, played with at recess. But I didn't have their phone numbers, they didn't have mine. We didn't go out, you know, anywhere in the weekend, didn't go to each other's houses for birthday parties, nothing. That way, at the end of the school year, when I had to move, it was less upsetting. But when I was 10, my father bought a house. And I knew that that meant we weren't going to be moving anymore. So now I had to figure out how to make friends. Okay, so I had just seen the movie the year before. And I remember in the movie, at the end, Sandy curls her hair, she puts on tight black clothes, high heels, and she starts smoking, right? Well, I already had curly hair because right after that movie, I made my mother take me to the beauty salon to get a perm, so I could look like Sandy. So I already had the curly hair, and you know they don't make tight black clothes and high heels for 10-year-olds. Couldn't find them anywhere. No, I didn't look. But anyway, the thing that I could do though was I could smoke. So I started smoking all alone in my father's basement. And the first time that I had a cigarette, I got nauseous and dizzy, and my head hurt. I was choking, it was terrible. And I thought maybe, you know, I must be inhaling incorrectly. I wasn't sure if I inhaled too much, not enough. Maybe I swallowed the smoke, I wasn't sure. But whatever it was, I was going to keep trying until I could figure out how to smoke without feeling ill. So I smoked a little more every day until finally one day I was able to finish a whole cigarette. And I didn't feel nauseous or dizzy or anything anymore. So I wasn't sure what I had done differently, but whatever it was, I was kind of proud of myself. Because now I could smoke in public without embarrassing myself, and that was the biggest thing that I wanted, that was my goal. Looking back now as an adult and knowing what I know now, I know the reason that I felt nauseous and dizzy and I was choking The reason was that cigarettes are full of poison. I'm sure that most of you already have heard a lot of times that there are over 4,000 chemicals and carcinogens in cigarettes. There are things like arsenic, cyanide, those are rat poison. They're poison. If you ever read a mystery story or watch a detective show, people are killed by these things. Formaldehyde, it preserves dead body tissue. Acetone is the ingredient in nail polish that takes the paint off your nails. There's butane lighter fluid, rocket fuel, cow manure. They put ammonia in. You know what ammonia is, cleans floors, toilets. They put that in for flavor. And actually, if I were to go over every single thing in cigarettes, it would take me all day. But anyway, just to give you kind of an idea that there's a lot of poison in cigarettes. And actually, even nicotine is used as an insecticide. And one eye drop full of nicotine would be enough to kill a person. So that's also a poisonous and addictive substance. Anyway, when I went to school in the 6th grade, hoping to make all these friends because I was a smoker, there were 2 other girls in my class that smoked, and they became my friends. And the 38 other kids in my grade who didn't smoke, they didn't want to be my friend because they thought I must be a troublemaker because I smoked. And in all fairness, the 2 girls that were my friends that smoked, they were troublemakers. So I became a troublemaker by association. So my smoking for popularity didn't work. When I was 10, there was so much that I didn't know about smoking. I didn't know about chemicals in cigarettes. I didn't know about smoking-related illnesses. And I'm pretty sure that at 10 years old, I had never even heard the word addiction. But I'm pretty sure that it didn't take very long at all for me to become addicted. In fact, I'm sure that by the time that I figured out how to smoke without feeling ill, I was already addicted. I finally did make a lot of friends, but that didn't have anything to do with smoking. I actually had friends despite the fact that I smoked because of my personality and who I am. And one thing it took me a long time to learn, all the way into my mid-20s to learn, is that people who want you to smoke or use drugs or drink or anything like that, any kind of risky behavior, any kind of thing that could get you in trouble or ruin your life or hurt you. Anyone who wants you to do those things in order to be their friend, they're not really your friend. Because real friends care about you and they don't want you to hurt yourself. And it took me a really long time to figure that out. Anyway, over the next few years, I started to learn words like heart disease, lung disease, cancer, stroke, associated with smoking. But I thought that kids with asthma, kids with who were sick all the time, kids who stayed in a lot and were very physically active, I thought those kids would probably get sick from smoking. But since I was strong and healthy and athletic, I didn't think that anything could happen to me. And I thought even if it did, even if I did get sick, I would be really old, like 50, 60, 70, 15, 60, they're not really old, but I thought they were. Actually, I probably thought 30 was old, but anyway, I thought if I got sick when I was old, oh well, everybody dies of something, I would have already lived my life, gotta go sometime. That's what I thought. So there's a few things that's wrong with that way of thinking. First of all, can anybody here, and this is a serious question, so no goofy people answer. Can anybody here tell me that you enjoy feeling sick and miserable and suffering and feel pain? Anybody? No. See, most people don't like to feel those things. And if you don't want to feel them now, you're not going to want to feel them when you're 50, 60, or 70. Right? But I just wasn't thinking. And Another thing is that I don't know what I thought maybe the doctor tells you about smoking-related illness and then you die. But what happens is the doctor tells you about smoking-related illness and then you suffer for a long time and then you die. But some people with emphysema can live up to 20 years, but the quality of life is so bad that it'd be like if someone was trying to suffocate you, or if you were drowning for 20 years. And that's no way for anybody to live, really. The other thing is that I thought that only old people got sick, and you know something? That's not true. And I don't know anybody personally, besides myself, who was diagnosed with emphysema in their 20s, but I know a lot of people that were diagnosed with emphysema in their 30s. And those people in their 30s might have just let it slide during their whole 20s when they weren't feeling well. So, maybe I was just lucky to be diagnosed earlier than them. So anyway, I thought smoking would make me popular, and it didn't. And I thought only old people get sick, and that's not true. And I thought that I would never get sick, and that's not true. And actually, I started getting sick when I was 21. When I was 21, I developed chronic bronchitis. Bronchitis is a lung infection like a cough and a cold. You need antibiotics to make it go away. So it was chronic bronchitis because I had it 4 times in that 1 year. And the 3rd time that I had bronchitis, and every time after that, I also had bronchial asthma. But that just meant that while I had the infection, I needed to use an asthma inhaler. After a few days, though, the antibiotics, they would start to work. And I would feel better, and I kept smoking. That doctor, my doctor then, who told me people with chronic bronchitis who smoke eventually end up with emphysema. Still thought I had plenty of time, though. Decided I would quit later, like when I was 40 or something. I would worry about it then. Anyway, over the next couple of years, I noticed my breathing was getting worse and worse, and I started using the inhaler even when I didn't have an infection because everything I did made me short of breath and tired. Everything, cleaning up the house, walking across the house quickly to get the phone, cooking, taking care of my children. I couldn't walk up hills without stopping 20 times. I couldn't carry any groceries up the stairs into the house. I couldn't walk for long periods of time, even on flat ground, without having to rest quite often. And I blame these things on old age. I thought that at 22, that my abilities as a child and as a teenager were gone, going to start to slip away from me. And I just had to accept that as a fact of life. But the real fact of life is that in your 20s, if you're healthy, you're at your peak of health. And what I mean is you've never been more healthy and you'll never be as healthy again than you are in your 20s. So I was wrong. I think that deep down inside I knew that my age was not the thing that was causing me to feel badly. But if I had to think about it, then I would have had to come to the conclusion that smoking was making me sick. If I had done that, I would have had to quit, and I didn't want to quit because it was scary. It's a frightening thing to quit smoking. It's going to be stressful. I was afraid I might gain weight, things like that. But anyways, that kind of thinking and blaming it on my age, that's called rationalization. People who are addicted to anything, they rationalize, they lie to themselves and everyone around them to make it seem like what they're doing is okay, so that they can keep feeding their addiction. Anyway, by the time I was 23, I stopped rationalizing because I was diagnosed with chronic asthma. And my doctor said, I had to see an asthma specialist, and he said, without a doubt, he was 100% absolutely sure that it was being caused by smoking. So I couldn't rationalize anymore. He also said he thought he saw something on one of my x-rays that looked like emphysema. But he said he wasn't sure because it's hard to tell in an x-ray. So he wanted me to go to the hospital and have some tests done to find out exactly what it was he was looking at. I didn't want to first of all, I didn't believe him because he said he wasn't sure.